and it's boring, especially when you're a Man United fan. And you see the news today. I mean, listen, I've been having technical issues here, trying to get set up, trying to get ready to go live. But I'm not even going to lie. When I read the news that Ten Hag hasn't even been close to getting the sack during this international break, I'm not going to lie. I'm fuming. I'm absolutely, I don't know if I'm being a spoiled brat. I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I'm not going to lie, gents. I am absolutely fuming that, according to the reports, he wasn't even close to losing his job. What is all this about?
That is mad. It's absolutely crazy if this is true. This is absolutely wild. This manager has shown that he is not capable of managing this team in the league. You know, like, credit where credit's due. He's won 2 trophies. That's great. But in the league, it's been absolutely abysmal. You currently sat 14th. You got Brentford coming up at the weekend. I don't think many United fans are too confident of that game. And the fact that the rumours are now coming out that it wasn't even being considered. Now, maybe that's not true. Maybe they're just going to give him a little bit more time and they want to try and back him as much as possible. So it's all just PR. Oh, no, we're not looking at back it to try and give him some confidence, Ten Hag, to try and turn this ship around. The problem is the ship ain't turning around, lads. Yeah, the ship is sinking. Yeah, it's got a massive hole in the side of the ship and it's going down quick. Yeah, and you need to sort it out. And the way you do that is by acting quickly, acting decisively. You know, I have a little bit of an issue with INEOS, man. I really do. I thought when INEOS was coming into United, I said on this stream, yeah, on Straight Facts, on many other shows, I think this is the start of the turnaround plan, yeah, at Manchester United. And as a football fan, obviously from a City point of view, it's great. As a football fan, I've been quite like disappointed to see what INEOS have done. I feel like they've not been ruthless. I feel like they've let this season just drift. I think this season is now a wasted season. I thought your transfer window was poor. You should have got rid of that manager in the summer. And you just delay the inevitable. We all know that Ten Hag's getting sacked at some point. So why not just get it out of the way, yeah? Get rid of the pain and start again now. And it just seems to me they're delaying it. And I really thought that when they come in, I thought they were going to be ruthless and I thought they was going to sort this out. But they're not. They're dragging it on, man. So listen, you've got more pain, yeah? Because I'm telling you now, I do not believe Ten Hag is going to be able to turn this around. This is his 3rd year. You've won how many games? 2 games out of 8. Is it 2 games out of 8 you've won in the league? Or 2 out of 7?
Something like that.
7. It's just horrendous, you know? So, yeah, for me, crazy. I don't think it's true. I think probably they have considered sacking him. My opinion is that they're going to give him another month and maybe they'll give him until the November international break. But after that, it's crazy because the thing is, yeah, after the international break in November, that's it then. I think we go full hand till like maybe March, is it? Maybe someone can let me know in the chat. I think after November, you've got until March, until the next international break. That is a period that you need to be strong, you need to be united, yeah, and you need to have a team that's ready to go on all foot because that's basically where your season's won. You have so many games, European games in there as well. So they need to sort this out quickly. You know, I think he's got 1 more month. And then if he doesn't improve, he'll be gone.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the 3 years that he's been here, it hasn't been 3 years, has it? This is the 3rd season. We've seen no style of play. So you start to think, what is it they're hanging on for? It must be that he's won trophies. He beat Liverpool and Manchester City in that run to win those 2 cups. The teams he beat, other than Liverpool and City, and I know you've got to beat who's in front of you, were Burnley, Charlton, Forest, Wigan, Newport, and Coventry. So you'd like to think Manchester United can beat those teams to get to finals of those competitions when you get the draws given to you that you do. He's got to win them, he's got to get across the line, and it's something that my manager's still got to do. So fair play to him. And I think most people have congratulated him for that and praised him for that, albeit I think he should have won all of those games and come close to getting squeaky bum time against Newport and Coventry at times. So look, there's no style of play. There's no understanding. Sometimes you might look at it and think, well, the reason he ain't got a style of play is because he ain't really been backed. They ain't really his players. He hasn't really spent any money yet. You've got to give him time. All of those things are nonsense because he's had more than enough time. He's had more than enough money and he's had the players that he's wanted. And also not just the players he wanted, the players he's currently worked with before that have been at Ajax, like Onana, like Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, you've got now midfielders and strikers that he's got, and even got Anthony, who's still trying to find a position at Manchester United. So everything that Ten Hag has done has not been a good thing. What I don't get is why INEOS would pull him in for 7 hours, as people were suggesting, just to be told, "Don't worry, mate, we think you're all good." What's the point of calling him in to do that? Like, it just makes no understanding whatsoever. So for me, Manchester United have got 2 options for me. Well, they've got 3 options. The third, the one they should not do is keep him, right? The other 2 options they've got is they put Ruud van Nistelrooy in charge until somebody they want comes along, or they go and get someone who's available now, whether it be a Thomas Tuchel, whether it be a manager that they want to try and convince that they don't think it's going to come, like a Zidane or maybe Allegri or whoever the hell is available at the moment they want. That's the first option they got. Otherwise, they keep Ruud van Nistelrooy and then they go and look in the summer and go, right, shall we see if we can get Xabi Alonso? Shall we see if we can get Ruben Amorim if we want to go down that route, a younger manager? That's what they've got to do. They're the only 2 options for me. You cannot keep hold of Ten Hag now. There is absolutely no way. You're floating around 14. It's been absolutely abysmal. You spent more money. People were putting you 4th and 3rd and 5th, obviously, in prediction-wise, before a ball was kicked. This has got to change now. There is no way that you can keep him. Now, what will probably happen is Manchester United will get a win against Brentford. Manchester United will beat Leicester in the Carabao Cup. And Manchester United probably won't lose to Jose's Fenerbahce. And they probably won't lose to West Ham at the London Stadium. And then everybody will say, Ten Hag, it actually isn't that bad. And it's never really been him. It's actually just the fact that the players aren't good enough. And the so and so. And there'll be more excuses. That's what I think, LB. I don't know about you in terms of.
Bro, I just think that, like, the one issue I have with Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in is just like, this is the point. This is what the one issue I have with Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in, is like, what's the point? What's the
just
point
another Ollie in it? Another Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer
what's
thing.
the point in Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in until the end of the season? This is why I said, when United failed to sack Ten Hag in the summer and give him a new 1-year contract, they wrote this year off. They wrote the year off. This year is now effed. It's screwed. They were never getting top 4 with this manager and this squad. Listen, they might win a cup, whatever, right? But this season, in terms of progressing, it's over. It's done. And it was over the moment that they didn't have the bottle to sack this manager and go and get a new manager, And what I'm hearing now from some United fans, not all the United fans, but some United fans, who can we get? Who can we get? You go on like you're the biggest club in the world, right? If you're the biggest club in the world, why don't you go and get someone else from a different club then? Why do you always tell me now? And again, this is only some United fans, not all of them do this. But why have I got United fans saying, well, who's on the market? Who's on the market? You're meant to be the biggest club in the world. Go and get someone. Go and get an Inzaghi. Go and get a Simeone. Go and convince Zidane to come to United. Go and do something. Act like the big club that you tell us you are. Do you know what I mean? I feel like some United fans, and maybe the club as well, they've forgotten who they are. Meant to be one of the biggest clubs in the world. They don't act like a big club no more. The way that they act is like a mid-table club. And when you act like a mid-table club, you get mid-table managers, you get mid-table players, and you get mid-table results. There's no surprise to me that United finished 8th last year, and now they're sitting in 14th when they buy trash players and they've got a trash manager. United need to own it. Remember that they're a big club, or they used to be a big club, and go into that market and make a statement of intent. Go and get Inzaghi. Go and get Inzaghi from Inter Milan and give him 200 million in the summer. And people will go, nah, his style of play is not this. You don't have a style of play. You don't have a style of play. Let's not pretend United have a style of play and then getting Inzaghi, you can't get Inzaghi because he plays 3 at the back and United don't play at 3 at the back. United don't have a style of play. Go and get someone big. But listen, they won't. I think they'll end up getting Ruud van Nistelrooy in. They'll get him to the end of the season. This season will be completely wasted. As I said, it was going to be in the summer. And then you'll start the process for next year. And what I meanwhile, you've not won a Premier League in 10 years. You've not won a Champions League since, 08? And time is just drifting by. And the longer that you take to make this decision, the longer it'll take for you to come back and win a Premier League.
And do you know what,
quickly,
LB?
man?
Do you know what's mad? This new structure's come in, right? This new regime has come in. And a lot of Man United fans are wetting the knickers. Oh, my God, we're saved. Jim will fix it and all this stuff. And this is going to go to the next level now. This is the Man United of old. We're going to get back to Sir Alex Ferguson days. And I thought to myself, yeah, they're footballing men. They must know what they're doing. And their first few decisions have been shambolic. First of all, Erik Ten Hag, we've got to keep him because he's won us a trophy. Absolutely. Let's back him with the players he wants, knowing that nobody really wants him here and he might be, under, against the ropes in the first few months. But let's give him more of his players. So if we do sack him, we've got another manager coming in with 10 Hag players they don't want. That's a stupid decision. Then leaving him for this long is more of a madness. I mean, how he's not been sacked already is beyond me. But certainly this season, 14th, I didn't have Man United going for third or titles, but I certainly thought they could have done maybe what a Chelsea and a Liverpool have done this season and start to look fairly respectable in their first sort of new regime of something.
Yeah.
And some of the players they brought in, I mean, they've got Xerxes and Højlund up front. They've spent over £100 million on. For 120, you probably could have got Watkins and Tony together with what they were being priced for. So the recruitment hasn't really looked too good, in my opinion, anyway. De Ligt don't look a great player. Mazraoui's probably one of their better signings, which is a madness, really, because no one was looking at him. So things have gone really wrong. But you're right. I'm seeing a lot of Manchester United fans that are going, well, what do you expect? Maybe we have to go and get Thomas Frank or Eddie Howe or Unai Emery. No, man, they need to be doing what you've just said. They need to be going for the elite. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yeah. I can understand if you're West Ham or maybe you're Newcastle and you're thinking of your next appointment. Maybe Emery might be quite good to take us to that next level. This is Manchester United. Emery already tried to take Arsenal to their level and couldn't do it because the job was too big for him. Same with PSG. Like, they need to go look at the very, very elite level manager to do this. And I said this to Saeed earlier, right? I honestly don't think if they got this right, Man United would be that million miles away. Some people say to me it'll be 10 years, it'll be 15 years before Man United. It doesn't have to be. It will be if they carry on like this, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you went and got the correct manager with the correct recruitment, spend the amount of money the Glazers have spent in the last 5-10 years, in 4 transfer windows, that's a very different looking Man United side. That's all I'm saying, man.
Look, gents, I hear what both of you are saying, and it's painful to listen to. You know, you got United fans like this guy here, who says things like Ten Hag out has created an agenda, a story, a scenario, an agenda to get the manager sacked, all in their head. Fan-led BS. Club are happy with Eric. Patience is a key component. Hold that, Terry. The problem is, I'm not worried about being right or wrong. The whole hold that thing is an absolute irrelevance to me. What I bet you cannot do is provide me, Potsy, and LB on this show right now with a detailed, like easy to follow explanation as to why I should stick with Ten Hag in terms of put faith in him and how he's going to turn it around. Show me the examples of a manager of his experience who's been at a club this long with the resources he's had to spend, who is in this current scenario of worst start to a league season in 30 plus years, who has turned it around. This is the problem with this type of opinion. This is it. And then you guys will come in and say he's waffling. That isn't analysis, bruv. That is you saying Terry's right, but I'm not smart enough to debunk him. That is some limp dick attitude, bruv. Small penis mentality, bruv. It really is. That's all this is. It's true. It's all this is. I'm not turning my back on INEOS yet. Now, I think the hardest thing to do right now as a Man United fan is to keep the faith with them. I agree they've made some mistakes. I agree they've got to rectify them. What I find interesting, I was sitting on a stream last night, and there's a few people making claims that the next team outside of City to win the Premier League is going to be Chelsea. They gave their reasons. Fair enough. What I laughed about inside was, if you'd have said that a year ago, after 3 or 4 fouled managers, an incomplete squad, nobody would have even taken that consideration seriously. But they start a season well, they start to look more balanced, they start to win games, and suddenly they could be the next team after City to win the Premier League. Man United can still turn this round relatively quickly. The bit that I'm confused about, and it does make me question myself, is, what do you mean he wasn't considered for the sack? Why is he being given another 2 or 3 games? What do they envision him doing in the next 2 to 3 weeks? And even people that say you've got to back your manager, stick with Ten Hag, I haven't seen over the course of this international break a serious detailed breakdown that is easy to follow and understand as to why we should stick with him. Do you always get where I'm coming from? There isn't I kind of get it with INEOS. Well, look, they've made a mistake. They will rectify it. It's going to take years. They've done these things that are good. They've got all these other plans that are going on. I can get behind the idea that they're not completely incompetent. What I cannot fathom, and nobody can give me an explanation, is how and why they think Ten Hag is going to turn it around. Cite me the examples, the plethora of examples of where this situation has been turned around in the past. And do not dare mention Sir Alex Ferguson in the 80s as an example. It was a completely different set of circumstances. Don't you dare mention Mikel Arteta. A completely different set of circumstances. It's got to be like for like comparisons here. They can't do it. And I am angry that he's staying. Genuinely to my core, fuming that he's staying. The fact that Sir Alex Ferguson has been sacked before him, I'm at a loss. By the way, I agree with sacking Fergie. I agree with taking the money away from him. It's £4 or £5 million a year that should be spent elsewhere. No disrespect to Fergie. What's he worth? 80, 90 million pounds. He doesn't need it. What does he really do? Like, I get that. But yeah, I'm at a loss with it. There is no logic in my mind that makes sense as to why we've kept him. I can't.